Welcome back to the Hot Slice, everyone. I'm Josh Keown, Creative Director at Pizza Today. Along with me today, Executive Editor of Pizza Today, Denise Greer. Hello, Denise.
Why, hello there.
So what's up?
Oh, man. Well, first of all, we have an awesome guest coming on the show a little later, Lars Smith, who is owner of the State of Mind Public House and Pizzeria in Los Altos, California. So he'll be joining us, and he's a super knowledgeable guy. I can't wait to talk to him.
And this will be our second go at it. We get about halfway through. We'll just pull back the robe. We'll let everybody know we get about halfway through our first interview with Lars, and we had a big drop connection. So technology in 2020. So we just had to roll with the punches, and we got him back on again and finished our interview.
So you will hear us talk about this magical interview that we refer to that you won't actually get to hear, but hey, it's okay. We had a great time with Lars. But first, let's talk some business. Let's talk some pizza business. Let's talk about us right now, Josh, because there is something on the cover of the October issue of Pizza Today that everyone is going to be very, very curious about.
Yes, if you've gotten your October issue of Pizza Today, the National Pizza Month edition of Pizza Today, you'll see on the bottom right-hand corner, Pizza Expo 365, and you'll also see inside the issue a teaser ad for Pizza Expo 365. So we have been working day and night for like the last couple months, and
very underground too.
Very on the low. So this is kind of the first announcement
conversation of it.
This is the first conversation announcement that we've had out in public about it. So
y'all are hearing it first.
Yes. So yeah, we've been working really hard day and night, getting this rolling. And like I said, we're still a little bit off. It was still a little ways off. It's I'm not sure the exact launch date of this yet, but we're getting there. But Pizza Expo 365 is a year-round platform. It's a complete pizza experience, just kind of like Pizza Expo, but online. There's a whole lot of stuff coming to this, and we're still we're adding to it every day. But I'm pretty excited about the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited about it. I will say, Josh has been doing some crazy work to get this going. Let's give all the props to what Josh has been doing on the back end, because he's been having to learn on the fly something brand new, which is something you operators know about firsthand, because you're all doing that right now with the pandemic. I don't want to go too far into it, because we really are excited to do the big launch, and we'll get there. But we wanted to kind of get you excited, because I know that you probably are seeing that in that October issue, and you're very curious about it. And we're excited to share it a little bit, at least teaser.
Yeah, we're taking our time with it, but that's what we want to do. We want to take our time with it. We want to nail it. We want to make it great for you guys, easy to use, and so you can get the full benefit of it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, let's switch gears for 1 second, and let's talk. So this episode is coming out right on the cusp of National Pizza Month. So don't forget, get that National Pizza Month excitement. You will see a kick in sales if you're highlighting National Pizza Month. It's a big thing that's happening for the year, and we get excited about it, and we have tools for you to to drive a little bit of more traffic to your social and your restaurant. So
can you tell them a little bit about where they can find that and kind of what's in it?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got, each year we put together a toolkit, and I kind of told you that in the last podcast. We put together a toolkit that has the logo. It also has, it walks you through how to do a press release for whatever you have going on. And it has some little fun memes and just the little graphics that you can download. And then also some ideas on how to celebrate National Pizza Month. So that is going to be at pizzatoday.com/National Pizza Month toolkit,
All right.
and that'll get you right there.
And be sure to tag us in your social post, your National Pizza Month social posts. We'd love to see those, reshare them, whatever. So on Facebook or Instagram or whatnot, just let us know what you're doing.
Don't forget, that's at Pizza Today. That's it. That's all you have to do. At Pizza Today. Actually, you can do that if you're doing anything cool. We want to know about it. So do it. Just at Pizza Today us. We'll love to see everything. We'll get so many. All right. Well, let's move right into let's just jump right into talking to Lars, because I just can't wait to share this conversation.
Such a smart guy. He's such a smart guy. I think you guys are going to get a lot from this podcast.
All right. Here's Lars.
Hey everyone, it's Katie, art director at Pizza Today, here to interrupt your podcast with a short commercial break. Your friends at Message on Hold are happy to introduce our voice-over IP service. Message on Hold Phones is our solution for phone service. If the internet goes down, it's no problem. You can still take online and phone orders. No busy signal ever. Professionally recorded, customized messaging for your business ensures that your customer gets the message that you want delivered to them every time. Save money and get new phones. Visit www.messageonholdservice.com/phones. And now, back to the slice.
It's been all of probably 2 days since we spoke. So are the skies clearing up out there in California for you guys?
Yeah, I'm outside. It is beautiful right now. The inside of my house is a schoolroom now. So I am sitting in my backyard, and really the weather since the smoke cleared out is absolutely gorgeous. And it's a little bit of a godsend to us too, because outdoor dining is our main, is how we're making our money. And it's a beautiful time to sit outdoors right now.
How long will you be able to maintain the outdoor dining where you're at?
That's the $1 million question. Clearly, we're in California, so it is the possibilities are open. We don't get quite as much sun all year long like Southern California is. But there's years that we really don't have any rain until February or March. There's years that we don't get rain. There's also years that all of a sudden November and December will start pouring. But I guess maybe pouring for me and pouring rain for you are probably different. We're big babies. You guys have been out here. We're like 55 degrees to like 90 degrees is where we live. We don't do colder. We don't do hotter here in the Bay Area. It's people
sounds just terrible.
I know.
It sounds like you might be able to have dining outside for a pretty good while. Maybe get a heat lamp or two.
We're not going to pack it in. We're not going to pack it in. We're going to, if it's pouring rain, I'm going to call off some staff. But we're going to try to make a run at it. Personally, we're not real excited about letting people into the dining room right now.
Yeah. I hear that across the board. A state next to us, Indiana, actually Denise's home state, they just went 100% back into dining. All of it open. So
what could go wrong?
Yeah.
I honestly do not know. I will not be participating because I know it's Indiana's. Yeah. Anyhow,
lazy, man. I'm just getting takeout all the time. So
that's with us too. I mean, I got kids like the young kid like you have, Josh. Like I have two kids that are young. Like outdoors with all the outdoor dining is great for us. I love the idea. I think it's fun. It's unexpected. You can't expect everything's going to happen. There's birds, bees. I think it's a lot of fun. But for me, I'm supporting my restaurants through takeout right now and eating mostly. I've only dined out a couple times.
Yeah, us too.
Outside dining with kids is great because they can be loud sometimes.
Yeah.
That's the big thing, you're a dad, so you're operating this really busy pizzeria, and you're also teaching school. How are you balancing that?
And we're building another restaurant right now in the middle of a pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, you talk to enough people in this industry. We're all crazy people to begin with, so we're used to like juggling multiple things. But really, the school for my son, he's 7 years old, has special needs. That has been a struggle for me, like getting it done, but also like kind of mentally and emotionally. It is really, we think it's hard for us. Think about these. I mean, the kids that basically all of a sudden they can't do anything that they love to do and don't totally understand why. Especially my son doesn't totally get it. So trying to keep them happy, trying to really worry about their feelings and how they're feeling and make them feel supported and secure. But also I got to work and I got to do all those things. So I'm really lucky. My parents are both credentialed teachers. They're retired now, but they're both teachers. So they've been helping a lot.
That's great.
our little tribe. And my wife is really good. I mean, I think it drives her crazy, but she's really, really good at it.
Yeah.
I'm not so good at it because I'm used to being able to like fire my students, at work. I've done that for, it's kind of my dad wanted me to be a teacher. And I said, no, I'm just going to teach people how to work and work in the restaurants because I can fire them if it's not working out. And you can't do that as a teacher. That's like the running joke with my dad and I, but, one day at a time. It
takes all the patience, bro. It takes all the patience, the practice of the patience. That's
I come from a family of school teachers. I had the utmost respect for school teachers before, but God, now that I'm a home teacher and then watching the teachers on Zoom, this is not what they want to be doing either.
No.
It's rough for everybody.
Yeah, and State of Mind it's a family operation. Can you kind of tell us about that? How you kind of have that dynamic going on?
Again, we go back into firing people. Not that, I mean, I don't want to sound like I fire people all the time, but you can't fire your family. I mean, like, so many people are like, oh, you can't work with family, never work with family. For us, I don't want to work with anybody but family, whether they're blood family or people I consider family, because no matter what happens at the end of the day, you squash everything that happened and it's your family. I mean, it's my brother, my dad, my wife, our business partner, who I consider family. That whatever happens and whatever the arguments are and all of that, like, that's still my brother. That's still my dad. We figure it out. We don't usually go home upset, or we do argue about things. It's always like, we're family no matter what. There's nothing that could happen that would jeopardize that. A business is not going to jeopardize my family. So we have that premise and we agree on a lot of things, and we just, we kind of hash it out. There's nobody else I'd rather be doing this with. Within
the, what are the roles of all the family members within the restaurant?
Oh, geez. Well, I guess I'm the idea guy, and I'm the chef and co-owner. I have the most experience. We talked about Pizza My Heart before. I've done corporate management. I've overseen 24 stores, so I kind of have the most experience on how I think things should be ran. My wife does all the accounting, HR stuff, payroll, events, and just anything that we need her to do, because she's way better on a computer than any of us. So like event flyer, boom, website, boom. She does all that. All the stuff. And we kind of joke because none of us have ever, my brother, our partner, and I have never had a job in an office. I've never sat down for work ever in my entire life. So like all the stuff that she likes to do are stuff that I couldn't imagine doing, data entry or making Excel sheets. So my wife does a really brilliant job of that. And she's waited tables and done management. So she can work. She helps us out too in the restaurant. My brother orders the beer and does the beverage program.
That's
and
the important
manages.
part for me.
Yeah. And we have when you guys come out and visit us, because you have to come visit us.
Sure.
We have 30 California craft beers on tap, like 15 wines. Everything's local, California, independent. Nothing's from big beer companies. He does a really, really like brilliant job. And we have like 17 to 20 people we buy beer from at any given time. It's a big undertaking. And
specializes in rare too. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Like you had Pliny the Elder the other day, I think.
Yeah, we get that. And it's all about relationships. People that I've known from my Pizza My Heart days 18 years ago are now a rep, or I guess it would have been 15 years ago that he was there, but now he's the main rep for Russian River. So we get pretty much whatever we want from them, which is really cool. And our business partner, Amy, who worked with me at Pizza My Heart, who I consider a sister, does people stuff front of the house. She's an owner, but with general manager. She's really there making the schedule, helping train, hire, and all of that. And then we're all workaholics and are just there too much. And my dad's the money guy. We can't forget about that.
Money guy is very important.
My dad's a retired school teacher, that doesn't mean that necessarily he gives us endless amounts of money or has it, but he helps us responsibly manage our finances, figures out loans for us and really does that and helps us with that sort of stuff. And he is interested in the restaurant and pizza, and he's a very, very knowledgeable about beer, but he's not there every day.
Yeah.
I have the same dynamic in my household, and my wife, is an Excel pro. And if I have to open Excel, it completely ruins my day. So I'm right there.
I don't own a computer. The one I have in my hand is the only people will laugh. And I'm like, no, really, I don't own a computer.
Honestly, that's probably a lot. I mean, that's probably a large percentage of the U.S. is probably just phone operators now. I mean,
Yeah.
just mobile devices now. So
I had one in college, and when I used to DJ, and I spent so much time in college on it, and when I was done, I was like, I'm done. I don't want to be on a computer regularly.
Yeah. We'd kind of talked a little bit about this, and I'd love for you to go into it a little more. But you got a lot from your Pizza My Heart days. Can you share a little bit with us about how you kind of took that experience and rolled it into starting your own concept, and
Yeah.
and what inspiration that was for you?
Yeah, I mean, what an unbelievably incredible opportunity and experience, and like talking about it now, it like seems so like predestined, and that, oh look, I started as a cashier and ended up as a corporate manager and overseeing 500 employees. Like, wow, that was pretty crazy, and like it was like a pretty straight path to get there, even though I left a couple times. But the knowledge I gained watching, you guys have seen it on your charts you put out every October or November, watching a company go from not in the 100s to in 7 years being the 50th biggest, or whatever, 56, I think is where they peaked, the biggest independent pizza chain in the country. It was a really wild and heady time that I was there. And it gave me opportunities to open restaurants, to train staff, to create new programs, to change distributors, to figure out the finances of running multiple operations. And it created this like unbelievably strong background in systems consistency and growth. It's very, you can't have 500 employees in 23 locations and not have training guide system in place, ordering guides, mechanisms to check bank deposits, all these things that I think I know for a lot of my friends that open restaurants or pizzerias, like they make great pizza. The other part is hard to figure out, and hard to, if you don't have systems in place, and if you're worried about why my bank deposit is off every day, you're not making pizza and you're not helping guests. And so that gave me this background of understanding how to create a structure in which we can forward our concept. And then also I got a ton of experience on how to negotiate with distributors, even though I'm not a huge, I'm a pretty busy single unit. I'm not a huge company with multiple units, but I still have learned how to negotiate with distributors and vendors to get what I want and at prices that I want. So that was pretty cool too. I get thrown a lot of bones for like, oh, you were with Pizza My Heart. I remember when you bought all this pepperoni from us. You want to work? And this is for me. And I'm like it has maintaining a good relationship. And they're still some of my dearest friends in the world, particularly Leah and Tim.
Yeah. Great people.
That it continues like, oh, you're a Pizza My Heart alum. Like, do you want all this free stuff? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah. Like it's the gift that keeps on giving.
At what point in your Pizza My Heart career that you just started to get the itch, or like, hey, I want to kind of do my own thing at some point? So
I get made fun of for this. I think I don't remember if I told you guys earlier, but I left 3 times.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Well, it's like that's not that uncommon, but like It's one of those things that like I keep finding my way back, and like there was no doubt that I wanted to be in the restaurant business, but I was like, well, I don't know if I want to do pizza. Like, is pizza what I want to do the rest of my life? And like, Pizza My Heart is fast food. It's all made from scratch, but you're selling slices and it's quick, and you don't have long interactions with customers, and you have regulars, but they're there for 20 minutes. You see some people 20 minutes a day. And I was thinking that I wanted a more intimate experience. And the first time I left was to go to college, which I never thought I'd do, but I went and got a degree. The second time I left was to go to college again. The first time was community college. The second time I left was to go to college again, and finished and got a degree. And I didn't think I was going to come back. And then I was at UC Berkeley. And when I graduated, I was like interviewing at like fine dining restaurants and just all this, I was putting on a suit and tie to go. I was like, well, after like the third interview that I felt like they were literally just calling me in just to interview people. Like we didn't click, and there was no interest. And I was like, I wouldn't work there. I called Allison, the old Pizza My Heart. She was really the head of HR for Pizza My Heart. She offered me a job, and I was there for like 5 years and started general managing and really fell in love with it. Fell in love with it so much that I left to general manage another restaurant because it was closer to my house, and it was a really famous biker restaurant called Alice's Restaurant. But I knew that, really knew that the pizza was my passion, and it was one of those things that once I started working in corporate management at Pizza My Heart, I knew that I had a really, really good job, but I also knew that I really wanted to do it on my own. So I told you that when you asked how we came up with the concept, I started coming up with the concept, and it was wonderful because I had no pressure. I had a wonderful job, and I was going to look for the right opportunity to do it. So we just started building a business plan. But when you work in a corporate structure, you're not usually able to fully be creative and be yourself in that, because you have to do what's best for the corporation, and you have to do things that you can do if you can't do it in 24 stores, you can't do it, these kind of things. And that I felt boxed in by that, even though it was a really just brilliant working environment with so much fun and so many perks and good things. And
well, it gives you all the confidence in the world to do your own thing at the same time.
Exactly. And there was no pressure to do my own thing because I had a good job and I had the confidence to be learning, but also to know that I could be successful in my own thing. And so it was a slow itch, Denise, to be the long answer to your question. But really, and I don't want to put words in her mouth, but Leah recently left, and Justin Wadstein left, and we've opened our own places from Pizza My Heart. And I think a lot of it came down to creativity, just wanting to be able to put our own touches on things because we had so much fun there and did so much there. But, if you have that ambition and it's not yours, and it's never going to be yours, so I take all the good stuff, and there's really no bad things there besides not being able to be creative in my own right, but taking all the good things and building on it.
But just the whole talent pool there. I mean, my goodness, it's
it's amazing.
Real great competitors and
it's crazy.
Real great PTLOs. It's amazing. Yeah.
And the one thing that you've done too is you've continued that tradition of competing with us at the International Pizza Challenge and doing really well at that. By the way,
and I got my wife doing it. I don't know if I know Josh met my wife on there, but my wife's competed now twice, which is never in a million years what I thought that she'd be interested in doing it, and it's I haven't pushed it at all.
That's awesome.
Kind of gets in your blood. You're like,
Hey everyone, it's Katie, art director at Pizza Today, here to interrupt your podcast with a short commercial break. Performance Food Service is proud to deliver high-quality products, innovative technology, and custom operational solutions to restaurants of all sizes across the country. The flagship division of Performance Food Group, with deep roots in the restaurant industry, Performance Food Service has been the exclusive distributor of the Roma family of brands for more than 65 years. This signature relationship has allowed Performance Food Service to become a leader in the pizza and Italian segment of food service nationwide. Figuring out how to do delivery right can be a daunting task, especially when it comes to third-party platforms, in-house delivery, contactless solutions, and POS functionality. Fortunately, the innovators at PDQ have developed the Delivery Toolkit app, a convenient single source that can measurably enhance all aspects of delivery while saving time, effort, and costs. Rooted in metrics, the multi-integrated PDQ Delivery Toolkit is a must-have resource for your store. Learn why at pdqdt.com or call 877-968-6430. That's 877-968-6430. And now, back to the slice.
You guys have such a creative approach at State of Mind. Can you kind of walk us through that creative process on your menu and why you choose the things that you do?
Like many people in this industry, I think of myself as a rule breaker, or kind of a joke that we make is, the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer cartoon, that the island of misfit toys. The restaurant business is the island of misfit toys. We're all a bunch of weirdos that are kind of broken but kind of awesome. So I've never been one to follow rules, and I want to continue that. So things don't have to be together. Just because I'm a pizza restaurant, I don't have to have a combination pizza. I don't have to have a veggie pizza, and that we really want the food that we do to be creative, to be purposeful, and to tell a story. And so kind of open people's eyes to the possibility of what pizza and seasonal food can be in a casual atmosphere. And we kind of start from what's seasonal, where does it come from, and what can we put it together with that makes sense in our concept, and then just go from there.
So are you rolling out a new menu every season, or
Yes.
we
do 4 a year.
Yeah. Gotcha.
4 a year, and then we run random specials, and if get some really cool produce from a friend or whatever, we'll have random specials going up, or if there's an event. But we do 4 a year, and a lot of our menus set, because I have this it is a little convoluted trying to explain, but this idea that instead of doing a fully seasonal farm to table, kind of like more of a fine dining experience, is that I want to, like, you can always come get a Caesar salad. You can always come get a burger, and they're both going to be awesome. We have these mainstays, but you're also going to have 4 or 5 pizzas on the menu, a burrata. We do a seasonal burrata, a couple different appetizers change, and a salad that always change, so that you can get both. So there's a certain amount of people that just want a pepperoni pizza and a Caesar salad, and that's awesome. I'll give them my best versions of those. But then I also want them, even if they don't get it, to be like, oh, wow, look at these vegetables on this pizza, or look at this salad they're making, or look at this technique they're using, or these, you know, even if they don't order stuff that's super hyper local, they're going to see the names and start thinking about it and see it around our restaurant, and kind of support our local community and farmers in that way too.
Yeah. Now you probably have a new menu coming out in maybe the next month.
Yesterday.
Can you give us? Oh, yesterday. Can you give us a little preview of what that was? Make us drool a little if you can.
Yeah. What a week. So yesterday we rolled out a new seasonal menu. This is our third fall menu, so we're kind of getting in a groove. Not a lot of changes from last year, but we have a Brussels sprout and bacon pizza with a really wonderful aged apple cider vinegar from a place called -8 Vinegars. It's like really cool stuff. They're not local, but they're really cool.
I'm looking at a photo of it right now, Laura. I'm looking at a photo of that pizza right now, and it absolutely looks amazing. Denise, you're gonna have to get on
drooling. Yes.
And we got a pizza that has pork braised in apple cider and cider vinegar. We braise a pork shoulder in that with winter squash, kale, sage, and I forget what and hot honey. Hot honey is like we don't use as much of it as I'd like. It's not really a big thing here yet, but I try to sneak it into people's consciousness because I think hot honey is like the coolest thing ever. Then we have one that's my personal favorite, which I guarantee you will be ordered the least on the fall menu. It is it's roasted apple, radicchio, fennel, cream, microfennel, and sea salt. It's my favorite thing on there. And it's funny, usually my favorite things are the ones that are ordered the least because they're a little eccentric or out there, but then people do order them, they really love them. And then we have one with cauliflower. That's cauliflower that's roasted with cumin and orange juice and olive oil with Fresno peppers that we pickle ourselves, micro cilantro, an orange crema that we make, and pumpkin seeds.
Nice. The question I'll ask you, and this is something we get a lot of pushback when we do like really crazy creative items, and especially like John Gutekunst. Right. Oh my goodness, he comes up with the craziest,
my idol.
Awesome.
He is my idol.
Yes, he comes up with just these crazy, awesome pizzas. But we do get some pushback from people. Well, how can I put that on my menu? So, that's our question to you. How do you put that on your menu and get people buying it and make sure that you're, profitable with it?
Your time,
Yeah. So like what the thought process for us is like, so we want food that tastes good, that is seasonal, local, and it's fun. We want to be different. I am not going to ever compete with the big chains, and I don't want to. So I'm not going to make the same food they do, which is kind of a premise. But I figure out what I want to do, and then we get to a point, if it works and everybody likes it, okay, can we charge a customer for it? So we don't start from a point of, can we do this financially? We start at a point is, what's the best food we can make? Mm-hmm. Then can we sell it at a price point that's going to make sense? So that's one thing. And then you also need to, people get kind of, I can't do that. How do I do that? Well, you can do anything that you want to do. There's it's all over the board. But when you start breaking some of these items down and you get the per unit or whatever, per portion cost on a pizza. So you're talking the difference between, one and another, it ends up being 7 cents or 8 cents a pizza for using organic sauce opposed to this. They're using a fresh vegetable to a can. Well, do the math. So you got to charge a quarter more for that pizza, 50 cents more for that pizza. It's really not that much. It's just like the sticker shock when you see a case of this fresh vegetable or a case of this premium cheese costs this much. Well, how much do you use on a pizza? And then how much do you need to charge for it? I think people get caught up in the big numbers instead of breaking it down and looking at the little numbers. And I think it's about, does it make sense in your concept? And can you educate your customers on it? And are they willing to pay for it?
Absolutely. That's brilliant.
I can't take all the credit. Jason Samosky and I've had a couple long conversations about that kind of stuff. Is that like you look at a case of one tomatoes versus a case of organic tomatoes, and you say, "Wow, that case is $10 more a case." Well, how much is the cost per ounce difference?
Mm-hmm.
And how many ounces are you putting on a pizza? And if you really want to sell organic sauce, it's going to cost you 5 cents more a pizza. So your pizza is going to be 25 cents more. We use organic flour and organic sauce, and we're still in a reasonable price point.
Yeah. And you're focusing on, not everything, but primarily a lot of things California grown and California raised. What does that, focusing on such local or regional ingredients, how does that impact your food costs and the value you're giving to your customers as well?
Yeah. So I should say that we don't, what I was telling before, that we don't play by rules. Though Denise just named the rules that we play by, is that we wanted to focus, because a restaurant is just a restaurant unless it has a focus or a theme. So we set parameters for ourselves for our beer, wine, and food program that we're going to focus on California. The beverage program's exclusively from California, including the soda. The food is, we want to highlight it. So like in the summertime, I'll have 90% of my produce be from California, which is it's a huge number. It's a hard number to hit. But we, I just lost my whole train of thought. Denise, repeat the question.
It's about your California local produce and things, how that impacts your food costs and the value to your customer.
So like those are like the balance is what we're talking about there. So like it does affect my food costs. It's more expensive because of what minimum wage is in California. And we could buy everything from Mexico. I mean, I guess you couldn't buy everything. You can buy a lot of things from Mexico, and it's going to be a lot cheaper. There's two parts of that. Is one, it's less local and it's not supporting my local economies. And also where my food's coming matters to me, because how are the farm workers treated in Mexico, and what are the labor rights and all that? And that's something that I do think about when I'm thinking about food, not just the product, not just how an animal was treated, but how are the people in the process treated is something that matters deeply to me and my team. So we think about that. I do pay attention to costs, contrary to what some of my family members think. We don't do all organic, because sometimes that gets hard. But really, we charge what we need to charge to get to a food cost that we're comfortable with. We were talking last time, Denise, about how we make everything from scratch. Making everything from scratch, so sure, it costs more labor, but I have really efficient guys. It cuts down so much on the cost. So like a canned vegetable or a canned artichoke or a canned, roasted bell pepper costs more than a case of bell peppers that you throw in the oven and roast yourself. So we do save money in that way. I make ranch for much less than I can buy a bottle of ranch for. And sure, it takes a little bit of time. But we can balance it out that way as well.
But off subject just a little bit, you're an amazing competitor at the games or at the challenge. And if for the pizza makers out there, like what would be a couple tips you could give them if they were thinking about competing in Las Vegas next year, or Pizza and Pasta, or wherever they wanted to compete at? What would be a few tips you would give them?
Do it is the first tip. Just go, just get out, just get out there. I've had years that have been wonderful, and I've had years that I was like, wow, I really screwed the pooch this year. Like, what was I thinking? But it's fun. You'll meet people. You'll see me for years. I'm like the competition rat. Like even now, and I've been successful there. I spend most of my pizza expo in the competition area, poking around, seeing what people are doing, talking to people, and I don't even see any booths. I've tried to get better about that. But do it, because you'll be a better pizza maker and you're going to get ideas just by doing it. And also think about and Chuck Hammers at Pizza My Heart taught me this, is that, so think about something that you're going to make that's one, true to your concept, because if you win for something that's not true to your concept, what are you going to do with it?
Sure.
That's the point. Yes, winning a championship is really, really awesome. But if you can't market with it and you can't taste it and all that, you're not really doing a service to your business. And also do something that is creative, but makes sense, and is something that's respectful and proud. We see so many things that are silly and out there, and it's wonderful. And I think everybody should be able to do whatever they want to do. But I think we've especially seen in the last 8 or 9 years that the people that take it more seriously in terms of technique and flavor and concept are doing are doing pretty darn good over and over again.
Yeah, and something I think about is we missed Expo this year. We missed the competition, man. I think we're all still in mourning a little bit on it, I swear. But the one thing I think about with you is, you probably had already had the pizza that you were going to showcase. Are you bringing that to 2021? And if not, can you tell us about it?
I was thinking about that before our call the other day, because pictures have popped up, and I just did some things. I was supposed to go to Italy, Vegas, and I was supposed to go to Italy, and I've actually made my Italy pizzas for a cheese company and got videos out on that. I have not really released what I was going to do for you guys. I will not do the same pizza, so I can share with you guys. And I gotta say, I'm really more bummed out than the Pizza Expo is you guys invited me to speak on a panel this year,
yes,
which I was so excited about because I really, 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 I owe so much to so many people, including you guys at Pizza Today, that getting to like share my ideas and talk with people that are coming up in the industry is something that really, really excites me. So I hope I'll be invited back next year. And the pizza I was going to make this year was pretty wild. We'll see. It was pork cheek. No, sorry. Yes, pork cheek braised in apricot beer with candied kumquats, pickled Fresno pepper, and arugula.
What?
And there was a pan sauce. So I boiled down. Oh, Tyler wants to say hi. I boiled down a veal demi-glace with the pan sauce from the beef cheeks and made kind of a drizzle for it.
My mouth is watering.
I don't want to ruin your day, but I think that might win. So.
Yeah, it was, and it was really cool. There's like, speaking of rare beers, there's this once a year beer here from a brewery called St. Darius in Santa Cruz that is like they're one of the top 10 breweries in the country. That's a really sought after beer that's hard to get. And our friend there gave us 2 bottles of that to braise, like really expensive bottles of beer that are like aged for a year with apricots to braise the pork cheeks in. So it was going to be really special.
I'm so sad now.
I ate a lot of it and then drank the bottle of beer that was going to go to Vegas. So it wasn't like it didn't suck that much. It worked out, but it was really a bummer. And I saw it coming. I think a lot of us did see the pandemic coming, but I work really, 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 and a lot of us do. It's not just me, but I work really hard for these competitions. And I was working really, really hard to Vegas and really hard for Italy. I'd signed up for 4 competitions in Italy, which is, it's insane if you've been there. That place is wild. Yeah. Going to the World Pizza Championships there. And it was like this huge, like, letdown. And I definitely went into a little bit of a pizza depression where I was like not making dough every day and not really that interested in creating. And we actually delayed our spring menu because when the pandemic started, I wasn't sure if I wanted to bring in a bunch of seasonal produce and kind of like, it was just like sad, Yeah,
I know exactly. Yeah. The week of Expo, I remember just like playing in the backyard with my kiddo, and I'm just like, I'm in a funk, man. I'm just like, I really look forward to it, seeing all you guys.
Yeah. You're probably already planning your next year's pizza, I presume. You've already got it on the roll and ready to.
I don't know.
Start testing.
I got some ideas.
I gotcha.
It's a lot of it too is seasonal. So I usually have like 2 or 3 different ideas because I learned the year that I won, I had cherries on it, and I was not thinking and couldn't get fresh cherries the week of. This is a secret. I don't even know if I should be telling you guys this. I didn't know if I could. I thought I could get fresh cherries, and all of a sudden I go to the market and go to my produce company the week before Vegas when I'm getting everything ready, and fresh cherries were done. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I bought a couple bags of frozen cherries, and I had pickled cherries on it. And so I had 2 jars left of fresh pickled cherries, and I had pickled frozen cherries, having no idea what it was going to do. And it wasn't as good texturally. And so, okay, here's what I'm going to do. And I made half the pizzas for the first round with the fresh cherries, and the other half with the frozen cherries. And I gave the fresh ones to the judges, and the pickled ones the one I didn't. So I only really had one pizza, and then I made it to the finals, and I had 1 pizza worth of cherries left. So then I that the lesson of that is be flexible. And I have a couple ideas of what I'm going to do and what's seasonal and all of that.
Oh, wow.
You learn, man.
Well, I think we should go out on a really awesome parting question. Josh,
Yeah.
what's that question you want to really ask Lars? What do you really want to
Now
know?
You're putting me on the spot.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm always on the spot, so now it's somebody else's turn.
We'd love to know, because pizzeria owners, operators, pizza makers, all across the U.S. are listening to this. So, what are some of the just lessons learned? Like a couple lessons, like big lessons learned, when you're starting your own business.
The biggest one that I tell everybody is have a business plan. It is not optional. Like a real business plan that you could present to a bank, whether you need to or not. Not only so if you need to get a loan, you have something that makes sense and you've projected finances and all of that, but so you have a clear idea of your concept. I'm big on concept. Is that just opening a restaurant because you cook well is not necessarily setting yourself up for success. You need to have thought about what is service like, what's atmosphere like, how does the menu fit together, what's the decorations on the walls, who are your customers and how are you going to get them there? And then also the finances are important, even if you don't need a loan. And that is that how many people do you need to serve a day to break even? Are there enough people for that? That people overlook that. And that's when you get this statistic. It's not true. 9 out of 10 restaurants fail in the first 2 years. That's not an accurate statistic, but people fail because they don't plan, or people that aren't prepared to open a restaurant because it seems fun. So that's my number one. And it's not fun or exciting.
But
it's really essential. People overlook it all the time. Second piece of advice is be passionate in whatever you do. Your food's going to taste better. Your customers are going to enjoy their time more there. Is it find what's passionate to you? That is part of the reason that I make what people think is crazy food, and that why we do things that are unexpected, and why, I don't use canned vegetables is not because there's anything wrong with it. It's because I'm not passionate about it. And I don't think that that's going to make the best food that I'm the most proud to serve. Same thing, we're very passionate about service. We don't overlook service or atmosphere, and that's why we're successful. So I think figuring out what kind of concept or what you can do, or what you're doing now that you're passionate about, do more of that, do less of the stuff you're not passionate about, and you'll be more successful. And finally is advice for myself and other pizza operators, because it's not my strong suit, is lean on the rest of your team, hire a good team, give them responsibility, respect that responsibility, don't micromanage, and do that, because we all take on so much, and I take on way more than I can handle. I'm trying to get better about it. But if you look at anybody who's successful with multi-units or franchises or whatever it may be, or even a single restaurant that's highly successful, even if there's the name on it, they're not the ones doing it all. And I am slowly learning that, but that you got to have a team that you trust, and you should hire people. Michael LaMarca and Jeremy Galvin, who I respect dearly, tell me this. I call them anytime I have a question about business stuff. I call those two. Is that you need to hire people that are better at the things you need them to do than you are. You need to find people that can do the things better than you can. And I take that to heart. And that is something that Pizza My Heart did very well. Master Pizza does very well. And I'm trying very, very hard to do.
Well, that's brilliant. Thanks so much. You, wow, lots to take away today.
Coming back on,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking time. And we can't wait to see what happens with this new location you hinted at. So
we're excited. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.